So even though when you got born again, you received the love of God, the true agape of God, that self-sacrificing love of God offering his son, Jesus offering himself, and you receive that love, you're receiving it inside a natural mind that does not have a capacity to receive it because it's still from Adam. It cannot, it's still patterned after spiritual death. Now you're spiritually alive, but you're still living inside a natural brain that has thoughts according to spiritual death. Now you're not spiritual death if you're born again. You're not spiritually dead. But you have a natural brain that your spiritual mind is locked in cell for cell. So what God wants to do, and that's where the beauty of praying in tongues is. It's called edification. It's called building yourself up. We've read in Isaiah 28 where this is the rest, this is the refreshing. Line upon line, precept upon precept, here a little, there a little. In other words, God, he has to show you little by little who you are, based on what you can receive, based on how you're understanding now. He's going to start off there, and then through praying in tongues, because you're now born again and shown plainly of the Father. When God speaks to you, you can receive it in a millisecond. So you'll get a revelation from God. Your spirit will grab hold of it and love it. And yet when you bring it up to look at it, like in the computer screen of your mind to read it, your natural mind is right there reading it also. So how do you tell the difference, right? If God then tells me something about this love he has for me, right? I got born again, I received the love. But then when I think about this love he has for me, my spiritual mind is thinking on it, but my spiritual mind is inside my natural mind. So now my natural mind also is thinking about the love of God. But it's like, which one do you believe? How do I know the difference between my spiritual mind and its understanding of love versus my natural mind of its understanding of love? Because remember, like we saw with Luke 6:32, it's sinners have agape. In John 3:16, God has agape. But obviously these two loves are different. God's love is much greater than worldly love. But once we look at this love in our mind, how are we going to tell the difference between my spiritual mind understanding this love versus my natural mind? And that's the purpose of a parable.